Morning kids, and welcome to the last assembly of this academic year, and this one's all about targets and hindsight. Now, the first thing I want you to do is look at that slightly different view of a map of the world. It's different to how we would normally see it presented. See if you can see the UK in the top left there, and the question is, where is Japan? It's obvious what's different about the map. I just explained it. Where is Japan? And I'm not sure if I can get my laser pointer on. No, but it's right in the middle. It's the green island right in the middle of the map there, okay? I don't know if any of you have ever been to Japan, but I'd like to ask you, how long do you think it takes to fly there? Shout out your answers to your form teacher, please. How long to fly to Japan? And it is 12 hours, okay, half a day to get there by plane. Quick quiz, which country do you think has the bigger population? Japan or the UK? What do you think? Shout out your answers, please. And as you can see there, Japan is almost twice as many people as us in the UK. And then there's some other indicators below. We are the same population size as France. Germany is 16 million bigger, and Spain is 20 million smaller. But look how many people live in such a small country like Japan. Now you're probably thinking, why on earth am I going on about Japan so much? And you're going to see these two little mascots a lot over the next few weeks, because the Olympic Games are starting in a couple of weeks' time. And the Olympic Games are held every 4 years in different countries around the globe, and they're one of the most important international sports competitions in the world. Originally there was just the Summer Olympic Games, but I'm sure you now know that we have the Winter and the Paralympic Games. Unfortunately, due to COVID, they were meant to happen last year, but now it's running this year instead. And there won't be any people in the crowds, but it will still be an incredible spectacle. What you're about to see on the screen is a trailer. You might have already seen it on TV. So just watch this for a moment. Okay, that was pretty exciting stuff. The very first Olympics were held in ancient Greece, and they were originally regarded as a religious festival. Before the opening ceremony, all of the athletes, coaches and referees took an oath promising that they would follow the rules and compete fairly without cheating. In addition to that, the athletes prayed to the gods for victory. And the festival itself was held in honor of the Greek god Zeus, which I'm sure you've heard of. But the athletes also paid homage to the goddess of victory, strength and speed, which you will have heard of, but maybe not realize it was a Greek god. That goddess was Nike. And here is a telling us all about the origins of said Olympics. And how we arrived in 1896. Enjoy!
Thousands of years years in the making, what began as part of a religious festival honoring the Greek god Zeus in the rural Greek town of Olympia has today become the greatest show of sporting excellence on Earth. The inception date in 776 BC became the basis for the Greeks' earliest calendar, where time was marked in 4-year increments called Olympiads. What could it be? Why, it's the Olympic Games, of course. Competition fosters excellence, or so thought the ancient Greeks. In addition to sporting events, contests were held for music, singing, and poetry. You can read about them all yourself in classical literary works like Homer's Iliad and Virgil's Aeneid. Even mythical heroes appreciate a good contest every now and then, wouldn't you say? For the first 13 games, the ancient Greek Olympics featured just one event, the 200-yard dash. But over time, new, exciting contests like boxing, chariot and mule racing, and even a foot race where the competitors wore a full suit of armor enticed many hopeful champions into the Olympic Stadium. The combined running, jumping, wrestling, javelin throwing, and hurling the discus event known as the pentathlon inspired world-class competition. And the pankration, a no-holds-barred fight where only biting and eye gouging were prohibited, ensured the toughest men were victorious. And victorious they were. Nobody tops the local baker Coroebus, who in 776 BC became the very first Olympic champion. And we'll never forget Orsippus of Megara, the 720 BC Olympic victor who tore away his loincloth so he could race unimpeded, inaugurating the ancient Greek tradition of competing in the nude. Now there's a winning streak, if ever we've seen one. But all good things must end. In 391 AD, the Christian Roman Emperor Theodosius banned pagan practices, so the world soon bid a fond farewell to the Olympic Games. But just like those early pankration athletes, you can't keep a good one down. And 1,500 years later, in 1896, the modern Olympic Games kicked off in Athens, Greece. Today, the Summer and Winter Olympics bring international world-class athletes together by the thousands, uniting fans by the billions for the world's foremost sporting competition. Citius, Altius, Fortius, 3 cheers for the Olympics.
Awesome. Can't believe the video actually worked. So, competition. It's good to compete. When we take part in sports at school or county or even national level, or even just with our mates in the park, it's important to remember the ethos of the very first Olympic Games, to follow the rules and compete fairly without cheating. And the Olympics is always an event that dominates the news for a short period of time. It's full of highs and lows and visual splendor and intricate organization, but then it's gone and buried with yesterday's news. And I'm sure that not many of you will remember London 2012 because you're too young, but a key concept that was enshrined in the 2012 London Olympics was that of legacy. And legacy is the effect that remains after all the razzmatazz is gone, and it is the influence that the event has on the future. Legacy can only be assessed with hindsight. And what I'd like you to think about this week is what's been your legacy from this strange year that we've had with all the lockdowns and the disruptions due to COVID and all the limitations. Who do you think you have influenced in a positive way this academic year? None of us have experienced our Olympic moment, yet we've all had our own highs and lows. There's probably been times where we've been really pleased with ourselves and with our successes and our growing understanding, but there's also probably been times when we have not known which way to turn to find our way out of a dilemma or even a failure. And with hindsight, what might we make of these experiences? What have we achieved this academic year? Because achievements are important. Your time in school is measured in terms of what you achieve. largely in exam results, but there are other measures too. And there are two ways to look at the target. One is to see it as the furthest we might be able to go. And if we reach that target, we stop there and celebrate our success. If we fall short, then we can at least say we got near to the target. However, a second way to look at the target is as a destination on a longer journey. We hit the target and go through it with the momentum we've gained. To be honest, kids, it's really important that we enjoy the well-earned summer break that's coming up at the end of this week. We've got 6 weeks to relax, recharge the batteries, have some fun, and be kids. And then when we return to school in September, we'll be ready to set new targets, achievable but aspirational. So thank you for listening. Have a great week. Have a great summer. Be safe. And I look forward to seeing you in the next academic year.